Whoa, finally. Hi guys, my name is Sharon and you're welcome to another episode of Pitching for 50 Minutes with Green ESI Books. I'm excited about today's episode because I would not be preaching alone and we're starting a series tagged The Book or the Books I Read in the Nigerian Law School. So this series we've gone around the six campuses of the Nigerian Law School. That is Lagos, Abuja, Bayelsa, Enugu, Kano, and Yola. We have gone around and we have picked the very best minds. All these lawyers, because they have been called to the bar already, they have gone through the Nigerian Law School. So today we'll be starting with criminal litigation. We'll be asking them questions like what book or books they read in the Nigerian Law School for criminal litigation. Are the textbooks still relevant in practice? Do they have the current trends of law? Did the book or did the topic or topics they read come out in the bar final exams? And what exactly they learned in the Nigerian Law School?
Hi everyone, my name is Grace Kalu. I finished from the Nigerian Law School Lagos campus in 2019 and I was called to the bar in November 2019, and at the call to the bar ceremonies I was given an award as the overall best student in criminal litigation, and I also won an award for being the best female student in criminal litigation. So in this quick video I'll be doing an overview of the textbook I read in criminal litigation and how it helped my approach to studies. Everything about a textbook in criminal litigation. Alright, so in my time we had different textbooks. There was a textbook by Agaba, there was another by Hambali, and there was the textbook by Afolayan. And I chose the textbook by Afolayan sincerely because of the size. For those of you that have seen textbooks written by Agaba in law school, it's something like you're expecting something like this. Textbook is actually very voluminous, and for me I didn't really want that. I wanted something quick, I wanted something brief that I could easily relate with after my studies in class. And coupled with the fact that in Lagos campus, then our lecturers really advised us to give premium emphasis on our class notes. So let me say that for criminal litigation, my major authority when it came to learning was my class notes and then the law school handbook, and I used the textbook as, let's say, a secondary source. Right, so I've already mentioned that I bought the textbook because it was not it was not voluminous, it was not bulky, so it's something I could easily relate with. And then talking about the style of writing and the language of the author, I think it's really concise and straight to the point. That's why it's not that bulky. You just have the author introduce a particular topic or subject and say what the principle of the law is about that subject, and support it with judicial or statutory authorities. And I would say that the textbook has done justice to making reference to like recent cases. At least if you go through the table of cases, you are bound to see recent cases and something that is currently happening in the country. And this one thing I commend writers of textbooks that are used in law school. They usually like updating their textbooks in line with the recent trend. So rest assured that if there is any change in the law today, you would see a revised copy or revised edition of that textbook. Right, another question I have to answer is whether the topics I read came out in exams. Absolutely, they came out in exams. As far as these topics are things that are contained in the course content and course outline, you are sure to find it in exams. But like questions like charges, the evidence aspect of criminal litigation, that's where you place emphasis on the evidence act. So every core topic came out in the exams, and it was easy to answer these questions because there were things or subjects I was now used to, having studied my class notes in conjunction with the textbook. And then I would have to answer another question here, whether the textbook did justice to the bar exam questions. Yes, they did justice to these questions. This is because like I said earlier, the textbook would adopt the approach of giving you the principles and then supporting it with authorities. But there is one thing there is one caveat there for me. I usually went with the authorities that were contained in my class notes. Now, not that the authorities in the textbook were wrong or they were false or something, but there is this sense of reassurance that I had when I used the cases that were given in the class. And so I just had to stick with the cases that were given in class. This is where, my class notes became very important. And there's one other thing I would like to, before I end this video, there's one thing I would like to highlight when it comes to criminal litigation textbook and any other textbook you would have to read as a student of the Nigerian law school. Please, please, and please, always try to streamline whatever you read in the textbook with what is being taught in class. The system of the law school is this. The system in practice actually is that you could have different laws in different jurisdictions and different things that are applicable in court. But for the purpose of bar part 2, the law school has to adopt a unified curriculum. They have to adopt a unified position of the law when it comes to a particular thing. And so wherever you find an inconsistency between what is contained in the textbook and what is contained in your class notes, please go with what is contained in your class notes, because that's the final authority when it comes to the bar exam questions. And particularly for those that will be reading Afolayan, let me just quickly spot out something I noticed in the textbook, an error I noticed in the textbook, so that when you are reading, you'll be cautious and careful enough to be able to sieve these things from what is correct. In the aspect that talks about appeals in criminal cases, that appeals or final decisions of the court, the time frame to bring such appeal is 90 days, and the textbook rightly captures that the time frame is 90 days. But then when it comes to an appeal for interlocutory decisions of the court with respect to criminal cases, the textbook by Afolayan says those appeals should be brought within 14 days. That's for interlocutory appeals. But then this is wrong. Going by the provisions of the Court of Appeal Act, I think it should be section 24 or 25. Please confirm that. By virtue of that section, both interlocutory appeals and final appeals that arise from criminal cases are supposed to be filed within the same 90 days. And so you'd have to take note of some of these inconsistencies when you are reading your textbook. Like I said, please make sure you always revert to what applies in your class note. So by way of recommendation, yes, I would recommend that you get Criminal Litigation in Nigeria by Afolayan. It is straight to the point, it is concise, it's something that you can easily relate with as a law school student. And like I would always place premium emphasis on the fact that you must at every point in time read these textbooks in conjunction with whatever you are taught in class, and let what you are taught in class be the final authority. Alright, thank you very much for having me. I hope.
Guys, my name is Jato Sunday. I attended Nigerian Law School, Abuja campus. I was called to bar in the year 2019. I used Agaba for my criminal litigation, and trust me, you will enjoy the textbook. It gives detailed explanation on each topic. It gives recent laws, recent cases, and it's very explanatory. You will enjoy it when you read it. It was recommended by a senior, and I actually didn't regret it, though it is voluminous. But then you have to read it, and you will enjoy it.
My name is Laura Awana. I am a legal practitioner at Afia Babalola & Co. I was called to the Nigerian bar last year, that's 2019, and I attended Nigerian Law School Yola campus. The criminal litigation textbooks I used while I was in school were criminal litigation by Afolayan and criminal litigation by Agaba. I bought and read these textbooks because the authors dealt with various topics in criminal litigation intelligibly. They covered recent laws and were able to break them down to easier and understandable forms. The authors used wonderful styles of writing. As for Afolayan, it was concise and comprehensive. Then for criminal litigation by Agaba, it was more elaborate, comprehensive, and the author went as far as using various illustrations to pass across a proper understanding of these various topics. The topics I read in these books came out in bar final exams in the likes of charges, searches, trial advocacy, constitutional safeguards for an accused person, and so forth. And these authors did justice to these various topics because they were able to properly explain these topics very well. It was easy to write bar finals successfully without stress. if you buy these books, you can testify yourself that they're actually very comprehensive and easy to go with. To this effect, I fully recommend Criminal Litigation by Agaba and Criminal Litigation by Afolayan. Don't worry, you like it.
Hello, my name is Opolua Olove. Um, this is for green essay books. So here it goes. My name is Opolua Olove. I was called to bar in 2019. That's last year. I went to Enugu campus. The textbooks I read for criminal litigation were Afolayan and Agaba. I can't really remember the name of the books, but I think it's called Criminal Litigation. But the small one was by Afolayan and the big one was by Agaba. Next question says why I bought it or read it. I bought Afolayan because it looked small, so it feels like something I could finish in a faster time than the other options that was available. That's Agaba. Agaba is like very voluminous and it just looks discouraging in quotes. So I went for Afolayan, and I felt that in case I didn't understand what was in Afolayan and I needed something more explanatory, I got Agaba for that. So the style or language of the author. For Afolayan was straight to the point. There was no beating around the bush. Not too many examples. I mean, the cases that were needed were there. The points that were needed were there. It was pretty straight to the point. No preamble, no story for the gods, nothing of all that sort. It was just straight to the point. But Agaba, I think Agaba kind of reminds me of Ese Malemi. If you read any Ese Malemi books in university, there is like story time, and then it gives you like scenarios that actually happen to him in life that is relating to the topic in that chapter, and at times they are funny, at times you are wondering how is this related to the topic. But then Agaba always found a way to connect the nexus between, if he was giving an example of a car and the topic was charges, you will find a way to connect the nexus between a car and charges. It's just that good. But then you have to like read through the story, and the story could be like 2 pages, a page and a half, and at times it could be discouraging, but if you read it, you could enjoy the story at times. The language of the author, Afolayan, was quite simple language, easy to comprehend, easy to understand, straight to the point. Agaba quite explanatory, to be honest. Just the long stories at times, I guess. Does it cover recent laws and trends? Yes, I think they it's an edited version. I think they revised it subsequently. So the one I read in 2019, I think Afolayan was maybe 2018, 2019 revised, and Agaba 2 was also revised. So they revised their editions and had the new laws to it. Yeah. The topic I read come out for the back, definitely. The topics I read, definitely charges, bill, all the topics I read. What I did personally was that I read I read Agaba in school when we were going to classes, and then when I was at home reading for the exams, I read Afolayan, and then the places I felt I needed more explanation or were not explanatory enough in Afolayan, I would check in Agaba and fill in the gaps and stuff like that. So all the topics I read came out. Not all, like there's a way criminal law intertwines, the topics in criminal law intertwines. So it may not just be like, oh, question 1 was just on this, or question 2 was just on this. You could see like 4 topics in question 1, and then you've read it in your Afolayan or Agaba. So yeah, pretty much all the topics I read came out in my bar exam for criminal law. Did the textbook do justice to the bar exam questions? I would say yes, because I read both Afolayan and Agaba. Like I said, the combination of Afolayan and Agaba was like everything for me. It was interesting, it was easy to read, it was very, very comprehensive. The two together, the combination of the two together, very, very comprehensive, very interesting. It was criminal law was a cruise, literally, because of the way the authors used the languages they used, the way they made it easy to comprehend, easy to read. So yeah, it did justice to the bar exam questions, I would say. You could do that with past questions, but yeah, the textbooks really did justice to the bar exams. What textbook could I recommend? Like as I said before, I would definitely recommend Afolayan and Agaba. There are two different textbooks. Afolayan is a purple textbook, it's small. I don't have it here with me, unfortunately. But then Agaba is a big textbook, it's green. So I would definitely recommend you buy both Afolayan and Agaba. I think Agaba is 6,000, Afolayan is also 6,000. I can't really remember the prices, but I would recommend both. But if you can only afford one, and you just like to go like straight to the point, no need for story, I would recommend Afolayan. But if you're the type of student that, or you're the type of person that you want something very very detailed and yet comprehensive, I would advise that you go for Afolayan Agaba. But if you can afford to buy both Afolayan and Agaba, that would be a perfect match. But then if you can't, depending on the type of person you are and the type of student you are and how quick you assimilate and stuff like that, yeah, it varies. Then next question, any other advice to law students? To be honest, when when I was in law school and then you're trying to hear advice from people that have gone to law school before, you kind of don't really relate because you're like, "Oh, you guys have gone through it and stuff." But then I really don't know. It depends on who you are as a person. Know your reading pattern, to be honest. For me, to be honest, law school was, I couldn't relate when people were like, law school was tough and law school was hard and they were killing themselves over books. I couldn't relate because for me, law school was like cruise. I saw my movies, I went out, I chilled, I did fun stuff, but I still made out time to read. So know yourself basically, and don't put pressure on yourself. Trust me, it's not worth it. Like the exams are not worth it. Everything is not worth it. The pressure most people put on themselves in law school is really not worth it. So don't put pressure on yourself. Know yourself, know your reading pattern. So what works for your roommates may not work for you. What works for you may not work for your roommates. So don't compare yourself to other people. Whatever is your reading pattern, whatever is your reading time, your best time to assimilate, work with that. And don't put pressure on yourself, trust me. And practice your draft as often as you can. Just like you could be bored, especially in this time that we're at home, like COVID-19 time. I hope this gets out when they still COVID-19. You could just, if you don't feel like reading and you just want to relax, you could just practice your draft. Not necessarily cram your draft, but like just keep doing it and it sticks. Draft is not something you need to cram, except the ones that are constant, like they don't change. Those ones, especially in property law, you need to cram some, to be honest. So practice your draft, know yourself, no pressure, and have discussions with your roommates, especially if your roommate are reasonable set of people. I had amazing roommates. We were like my sisters, so it was quite easy. Anything I didn't understand, I'll just go to them, which gave me the F1 to sleep in classes, but whatever works for you. But then discuss with people that are reasonable and are smart and also want to see you succeed as well as they want to succeed. All of that thing. So discuss, no pressure, know yourself, have fun while you're at it, because trust me, you won't go to law school again. So if you're in a state that you don't live in, like I went to Enugu, but I actually stay in Lagos. So go out, know places, because it's just 1 year. But then this COVID-19, so I guess you can't really do that. Anyway, this video is becoming too long. And most importantly, trust God. Yeah, do a lot of trusting in God, and prayer works, to be honest. If you're a Christian, pray to Jesus Christ. If you're a Muslim, pray to Allah. If you're an atheist, you just need something to hang on to, something to believe in. I think everybody does need that. So just put your faith in what you believe in and hold on to that. So faith works. Yeah, that'll work for you. That's all from me, I guess. Thank you very much.